Welcome back to Tundra's Racing. We've got a big haul to go over today. We've got a whole bunch of stuff from the last couple weeks that we've picked up. First one that we're looking at right here is the Japanese nostalgia car pack. So we got these 6 cars in here: the CRX, the RX-7, the Evo, the 300ZX, the WRX, and the AE86. Really cool car pack, and it's nice that we get a pack that is premium in a sense, but they don't have rubber wheels. And it's actually one that if you wanted to leave in the package, you actually could, because it's pretty dope. You got Mount Fuji there in the background. Got the cherry blossom tree up there. It's a nice little picture. It's framed up nicely, but you know what we do on this channel. We open it up, rip them open, and we're going to race them all eventually. Hoping that's our next video that we get to come out with. But take a look at these. These are nice. We're going to go through these kind of quick since we have so many things to look at today, guys. But let's check out Honda CRX. It's nice to have a line like this, though, that's definitely premium. You got tampos throughout the entire car. You have full coverage of it. They don't look bad at all. They all look really good. Take a look at the Evo. They all look really good, and honestly, they're not too overpriced, I don't think. Maybe a little bit. I know some collectors are probably not excited about plastic wheels, but I actually very much prefer plastic wheels over any type of rubber wheels that we have, because rubber wheels do not race well. There's very few cars that I've seen that actually have the ability to go down the track and have a decent time without, completely sucking. So WRX, right? Let's take a look at the AE86. Definitely a retro kind of tampo work done on this one, but very cool. And the next two are probably the ones I'm most excited about out of the 6-pack. 300ZX, this one, not a lot of work done on it as far as the tampos, but it is super clean. That dark green, gold, you got the lights in the back, little Nismo on there. Really clean looking. And my favorite out of the whole pack, this RX-7. Not as clean, but it's got the tampos in all the right places, I feel. Definitely looks like a tuner car, like a tuner car should. Got the black hood on there, which I feel like they've done with these RX-7s on here a bunch, but it looks really good on this one. Alright, moving on past our nostalgia car pack here. We'll move on to a couple of Ferraris. Picked up a couple things that we didn't really have before. Some things that were pretty easy to get that I just never really cared to get because they were easy to get. Always focusing on getting the harder things out of the way first before moving on to easy stuff sometimes. So this one is just a F50, but it's the dark red model that is specific to China. So 96 first edition. Focus. Camera does not want to pull focus. There we go. So just a 96 first edition F50. That was way too easy to rip open. Definitely an old card, but this is a slightly darker red than the other F50 that we have. And you can see that it is, let me pull focus here, made in China. You can kind of see it. Come on. Oh, you guys get the idea. Made in China. So we'll go ahead and sit this guy down here. Let him spin for a second. Again, nothing special about him. Just not as bright of a red as the one that is out of India or Malaysia. So this is the one out of India. One that I've had since I was a kid. You can kind of see a bit of a difference between the two. Pull them up here closer together. Again, the one I have in my hand is the darker red variant, which is not coming through on camera a whole lot, but in person you can definitely tell it is a darker red for sure. Moving on to another Ferrari. Again, easy one to find, but starting to creep up in price just a little bit just because Ferraris are getting harder and harder to find as we get older. But just a Ferrari 156, but it is the one that has the 36 on it. So let's rip it. Rip it open. A lot of weight to it. All metal body. So cool to get the other version of that. The other one has a number 2 on it. Again, nothing special about this, just one that I hadn't picked up yet. And moving on to another Ferrari. We have a Ferrari Enzo. You might be thinking to yourself, where have I seen this car before? You know, this one right here, that one. It's the same exact car. So I was looking at the cars the other day on the shelf, and I noticed that this one was sitting a bit funny. This back wheel seemed like it was off a little bit. After I looked at it, yeah, it's definitely off a little bit. So I decided to pop on eBay, get a new version of it. Nothing wrong with it, you know, deco-wise or anything like that. I pulled this as a brand new package pull, but just had a bum wheel in it. And this one actually has lighter flames than what the one over here does. So this one is now sitting on the Ferrari dealership lot, ready to be sold, and we have a new one that will be going up on the wall that will be made to go racing. This one does not have a bum wheel on it, so it will definitely be going racing eventually. Next up, we have some Zamacs. So I did actually find the Zamacs here in store at Walmart. And I did pick up 2 sets of them. So we'll go ahead and rip the Big Air Bel Air open here. Try and move a little bit quicker on these. It's going to be a long video otherwise. This guy's going to try and fall off. But this is a really cool cool deco that they put on this one, I thought. I'm not a super big fan of the Big Air Bel Air like a lot of guys are, but I think it's a neat casting. Moving on to the 69 Copo Corvette in Zamac. Casting that they haven't released too many of, but they started to release them all again this year. It seems like they've started to do more of them this year and then the last year. This is a pretty cool one. I like this. I like what they do with the wheels on these, how they're just a regular 5-spoke wheel, but they black out the middle of it and they have that chrome lip on the outside. I think that looks really, really clean way of doing the same wheel, but makes it look a lot different. And the next one is my favorite of the group. It is the Nissan R390 GT1. Let's rip this guy open. Part of the re-rides. I think this thing really shines. Simple. Tampo work. Front lights, back lights, grill. That's it. That's all you need. And they gave it black wheels, which I really like on this casting. It looks really good. Super clean. Nothing crazy, but looks really good. Next up, moving on to a bunch of E-case that dropped here the other day. We have another Toyota AE86 Sprinter Trueno. So a little bit different than the other one that we had not too long ago here. But this is the newer version of that same casting, essentially. We pulled the white one of it earlier this year. I think that was, what, A case that came in. So this is the second version of it that we have. Moving on, we have the 87 Ford Sierra Cosworth. Another one of the re-rides. Not a big fan of this casting. A little bit janky looking. This is the second version of this one that we've gotten to. The other one was black and red decos on it. But it's neat. I'll collect it. And then we have the Aston Martin Valhalla Concept. So it's the first time that we're getting this in the basic line. It's come out before in premium a couple times in silver and red. 007, No Time to Die movie. Excited to get this one. This one looks really dope. I met a collector at the store, and he was super duper jealous when I pulled this one off of the pegs, and he was like asking me like, "Oh, please tell me there's another one of those." That thing is amazing looking. Super cool to run into collectors at the store who are also looking for the same stuff as you. But we'll see how good this one does on the downhill. I think it's going to be a quick one. Longer wheelbase. And it just looks fast. Moving on to the 19 Mercedes-Benz A-Class. Rip it open. Running out of room on this parking lot here. This one is super clean looking. I'm not a huge collector of the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. They came out, what, a year ago, give or take. But it looks really good. Did a great job. The yellow, I think, shines on there a lot. They did the decos in all the right places. Just a simple Euro stripe on the front of the hood. We've got rear tail lights. We've got badges front and back. Looks clean. We got the lip matched yellow on there on the wheels. It looks good. I like it. Moving on to the 76 Greenwood Corvette. Lime green. Love the lime green. Such a mean looking casting. Mean looking car. The lime green on this thing really looks good. Really looks good. Moving on to other Corvettes. We have the brand new 2020 Corvette. Now we're not going to see the new for 2022 on here, even though this is the first time that we're seeing this casting in the basics line. But, ooh, nice rip on that one. But we have seen it before in the ID line. So because it's been in the ID line before, it's not going to show up on the card here. But this is another one that did a really good job on. I love that blue. Looks really good. And I think it's going to look really good up next to the ID car in the torch orange. I believe they call that. But it looks good. Love the Corvette. Definitely a casting I will try to collect as many of as I can. Next up, we have the McLaren F1. Another casting that I absolutely love. And this thing looks mean. Black all the way around. Simple, clean taillights, front headlights, clean 5 spokes, McLaren emblem. What more can you ask for? Just a clean model. Look really good next to the silver, and we have a bright orange McLaren orange that'll be coming out later this year. So those all look really good with each other. Try to clean up the parking lot here. Make room for all the others. Next up, we have the 91 Mazda MX-5 Miata. Another Ryu ride. Gonna be a lot of these. We're ripping open right now that are Ryu rides. This thing looks like a premium car with all of the deco work that they did on this. Definitely tell this is like a rallycross drift car type thing they did with this. They got the different color wheels on there and everything. But the deco work for a $1 car, pretty nuts if you ask me. Pretty nuts. It looks really good. Next up, another Ryu ride. So this is the Honda S2000. So this is, I believe, the very first car that Ryu actually did when he came over to Hot Wheels. And it looked very, very similar to this. I actually don't have that car, but it's kind of a lighter yellow, the original one, whereas this is a little bit more of like a mustard yellow a little bit. But looks really good. Again, super duper clean. Headlights, taillights. And it's got the little emblem, little Ryu emblem on there. So it's a nice little tribute to him. I'm getting to the end of it here, guys. Only a few more left. Next up, we got the Target Reds. The 73 BMW 3.0 CSL race car. Not a huge fan of this casting. I know a lot of people love it. I just think that they made it a little too boxy. And maybe it's not the casting itself, but just the car in general. But it's from the 70s. It's a really cool sounding car in real life. That straight 6 in there. But it just kind of looks ugly for a BMW race car, if you ask me. But I do like it in the red. Definitely better than the yellow and red that it came out with earlier this year. Next up, we only have Corvettes left. Another red edition, 76 Greenwood Corvette. In all red. Just like the one next to it down here in green. Same tampo work. The 22 on there. Just a clean car. And last but not least, we have the Corvette C7Z06 convertible. So this is one of the spring racer cars that they release as their normal Easter line that normally comes out for Kroger. With all the fun Easter colors on there. But had to get this one online since they were all bought up here. So didn't pay a whole lot for it, but just happy to get it. And there was one other car that I did get. Was a freebie from an online purchase with this Corvette, ironically. Guess what it is? It's a helium and gas truck. Thing from quite a while ago. Let's see, when is this from? Does it say? 1979. Full focus. There we go. 1979. So who knows if that's actually when it's legitimately from, but Airship Support Team. Helium gas. Careful. But came for free in the package with that, so I was Didn't even realize that it came with this at all. But hey, cool. Whatever. I'll take it. Probably not going to go up on the wall at all, but kind of a neat thing. All right, we're at 20 minutes already. Let's go ahead and start pegging these guys on the wall. So we'll start with our 50s. So this is our darker red one right there. We've got our lighter red. Go ahead and put right there. And back to the table. Here's our other Ferrari. This guy, 156. We're going way up here. Did have to move around a whole bunch of stuff up here because I was just running out of room on the European side of the wall. So we no longer have Lotuses up here. They used to be up here where the Jaguars are at, but now they're on the American side because I ran out of room. So they're all sitting up there right now. So we don't have a single empty case left in the room at all now. Alright, we'll go ahead and move our new Enzo. There's both of them right there. Our new Enzo over to the wall. It's going to go right there for now. You guys might notice that there's a couple empty spots because we got packages on the way to fill those already. Just stay tuned for that. We'll go ahead and put our Corvette right there amongst the others. So we are running low on first base already, guys. Might have to start expanding and get creative. Put our ID Corvette back up there. And we've got the new blue. Move on to the WRX STI. She'll be going over here. All the way up into the corner. Next up, we will go ahead and move our Honda. Right up there. The other Hondas. And we'll go ahead and move the Toyotas. We can move both of them at the same time. Definitely tell that these are different castings, even just holding them in your hands. Alright, so Toyotas AE86. Sorry for the bad camera work. Gotta do what I gotta do to stay balanced, though. Bit of a reach to get over there. Toyotas are completely filled up, so they might be needing a new spot here soon too. And right up there next to them, the Evo. And it's like Mitsubishi's pretty much all filled up as well. Move on to the Nissan R390 GT1. Zamac up there. Another Nissan 300ZX. Going right out in front. I really like the gold wheels on that. Looks really clean. And we'll go ahead and do the Mazda. Mazdas are all on the American side as well, simply because we don't have space for them otherwise. Next up, we'll go ahead and grab the other Mazda, RX-7. God, this thing looks so dope. Really good looking. He'll be going up right below the other red one. moving on to the other Japanese car out of the way here. On to S2K. Right up there next to the other yellows. S2000. And we'll go ahead and move our Big Air Bel Air. Got 4 of those now. And let's go ahead and do the other Corvette since we're right here. So, Copo Corvette, 69 with the others. And then we'll put our Greenwoods up here. So we got the new red one and lime green. Lime green really shines. It's nice looking. We'll take our German cars, BMW. Down in the corner here, amongst the others. Another German car, the Mercedes. Also in the corner. Take our Ford. Right up here next to the other one in black. We'll take our Aston Martin. Super good looking. We're just going to stick you right there. We got McLaren a whole bunch of room to grow because it seems like Hot Wheels is really loving McLaren over the years. They're kind of like the new Ferrari, honestly, between that and Porsche. So definitely wanted to give them a little bit more room to grow too, and almost ran out of room for whole Ferrari group too with how hard we've been working on those, trying to get all Ferrari figured out. And speaking of McLaren, put the F1 up there too. I'm a little bit surprised with this casting that they didn't put the larger wheel in the back, kind of like we did with the F1 GTR version. So it makes it look like it's a little bit off and you don't really know why, and I think that's kind of what throws your eye off a little bit when you look at that compared to, you know, one of these down here. But I think it still looks good. And I know Hot Wheels is kind of known for doing that with all of their castings, putting the big wheel in the back. And there is something I do want to say before we go. We do have a whole set of Zamacs here. This is going to be the prize for the next downhill. So stay tuned for that. This will be the prize if you pick the right car and are the first person to pick that car in the downhill race coming up. So do stay tuned. Comment down below what your favorite car is that we got today. And maybe let me know what other cars that you want to see, what other cars you want me to get and add to the collection. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, guys.